Coach, have an opening statement, then we'll get into questions.
Yeah, we're a lot of disappointed people in the locker room this past Saturday night, coaches and players alike. And we know we let one get away from us, but ultimately we didn't play well enough as a team in order to have the success we wanted. So, look, we have a lot of things we have to work on. We have to get better this week, and we got to overcome this adversity together. We had an opportunity. There's enough blame to go around. We had an opportunity in all three phases to win that football game. In the second half, defense, we just have to get some stops. We got to get off the field. Special teams, we had a field goal blocked. Offensively, we score a touchdown that's going to take us up to 41, and we have a crucial penalty. And so when it's all said and done, coaches and players alike, we all had an opportunity to win that football game, and I know it's disappointing. But again, like I said in the beginning, we gotta be able to overcome adversity. It's my job to help this team grow. At the end of the day, and part of growing is part of being able to overcome that strain and adversity, whether it's on the field, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in community. And if I'm not able to do that through adverse times, and when it's when they're having to strain, then I'm really not doing my job. So I got to do a better job there, and I got to continue to help them grow. And they got to continue to fight and get a week better. That'll open it up.
How have you guys rebounded from that game?
Well, you have to rebound. It's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. Obviously, it's never easy when things don't go your way. But like each and every week, you have to come in and correct those mistakes on Sunday. And at times it's challenging. It's tough. Emotionally, it's not easy looking yourself in the mirror and understanding you made some mistakes that you have to get corrected in order to have that success we want as a team. But you have to. You got to man up and own up, and you got to put in even harder, more work in order to get it fixed and corrected, and then go out there and have a great attitude and practice as hard and be as focused and as you can in practice and get better, because that's ultimately what it comes down to. Look, we all have to face adversity, and it's challenging, but at the same time, you got to fight through it. You got to be mentally tough enough to overcome it. And as a team, as a group, we got a lot of guys that, look, the team's together. They understand they got 116 plus coaches in that locker room that are there to support them. That's what you do as a family, but ultimately we all have to make sure that we hold each other accountable and take ownership.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm getting at is, how are your guys handling that challenge? Are they handling it well, the challenge of coming?
Yeah, they're handling it well, Brett. I think we had a good day of preparation today. Getting back out there, making sure that you have the energy necessary in order to withstand a Tuesday practice, which they did. But again, it's making sure that throughout the week we do the things necessary, and then on game day we have to perform. So, we've had good weeks of preparation, and for whatever reason haven't performed at times in those opportune times. So we got to put it all together.
What could the defense have done differently in the second half to contain LeMay's run game?
Well, the first thing is making sure we're aligned correctly, make sure we're doing our assignment, making sure we get them to the ground, tackling at the point of attack. We just got to do a better job overall defensively there in the second half. I mean, you play that well in the first half, and I thought the intensity was there. I thought the focus was there. Guys flying around, no hesitation, pulling the trigger. And at times in the second half, once the ball started getting rolling in the other direction, I thought we got hesitant, and missing gaps, missing alignments. And again, it's coaches and players alike. It's all of us, and I'm never going to. It's not about one guy. It's not about just the players. We have a role as coaches in order to make sure we put them in those situations be successful. But when we do, you got to perform. You got to make plays at the same time, and so we got to get off the field. We got to get better, and we got to improve.
How are you guys health-wise going into this week?
We're banged up, probably like everybody else in the country.
Do you anticipate you're going to be missing some guys this week? And did you tell
I'm never ready on Tuesday to say who I'm going to miss. I don't know. It depends on throughout the week how treatment goes. You know, we definitely have some guys out of practice, and anytime you can't practice, you know, you're missing a day of preparation. And so hopefully we can get guys back healthy for depth and making sure that, you know, we have those guys. But at the same time, whoever's healthy on Saturday, that's the guys that have to go out there and perform, and we have to get ready in order to have that success. So we'll get it done this week.
Yeah, Trey Siggers back against Charlotte. Had a good outing after not starting. What did you see from him, and how was he feeling, and just what do you expect?
I thought he ran the ball extremely hard, as always. You know, he started getting in a rhythm. He wasn't 100% this past week, and that just shows his grit, you know, his toughness in order to make some of those runs. But, you know, I thought he was successful in the run game. Again, he's been a great weapon for us, and we need to continue to find ways to get him the ball. It's at the same time making sure that we're trying to take care of him and all those guys, and making sure we get him back healthy, full 100%, because when he is, he's a great challenge for people.
What do you see? Go ahead.
How much added motivation do you have for the offense knowing you're going to go, or for the defense knowing you're going to go against a team who's on the lowest end of conference USA?
I don't look at the stats week in and week out. It's different. You know how that goes. You know, again, I'm really focused in on us. I'm focused in on us, making sure we get better, making sure we correct our mistakes, not coming back week in and week out and having to correct some of the same mistakes over and over. I'm really focused on making sure as coaches we do our jobs of making sure they're in the right positions. I'm really focused on our guys going out there competing for 4 quarters and making big-time plays.
You guys get UTEP this week. What do you see in them that you had a chance to look at them?
They're a physical football team. They're going to play extremely hard. You know, I know Coach Dimmel, he does a great job. You know, he's on just year 2 of trying to get that program rolling. The intensity's there on tape. There's guys that are playing extremely hard. They play a physical style of football on all 3 phases. You know, and it's always been a great challenge. You know, it's us and UTEP. I mean, they've been tough games since I've been here, anyway. And so we got to prepare the right way. And then when we do, we got to go out and make plays.
You mentioned after the game that you'd have to go back and look at the tape to kind of evaluate what happened in the second half defensively. Now that you've had that opportunity, what do you think the issue was in the second half?
Well, we had a number of different issues in the second half. One, getting off the field, 3rd downs, missed tackles, missed assignments, missed alignments. And again, it goes hand in hand. That's just not all on the players. We got to make sure that you know, we're getting them in the right situations. And look, when we're not, that's on us. When we're not, that's a bad call. You're not going to be perfect on calls either. As offense, defense, or special teams, you're never going to be perfect throughout a game with calls. And so you got to understand that and you got to let those guys know, I made a bad call there. I shouldn't have put us in that situation to hurt us. But over and over again, making the same, you know, playing your defense, and if you're not aligned right to where maybe a guard can get up on you and on counter, and to where if you're aligned right he can't, or your eyes go wrong with motion or with a route structure or staying on top of a route. There's a lot of things. And again, not beating a dead horse, we just got to get better as a team, all 3 phases. And it's our job to make sure that we get better as coaches.
It's been a struggle a lot of the year defensively. It seems like you guys have taken a bit of a step back from where you guys were last year. What do you think has caused that?
I can sit and give you a number of different excuses, and I'm not going to. We got to get better.
UTEP runs the ball over 37 times a game. Charlotte, obviously, Benny LeMay runs the ball as well. Do you see any similarities in them on offense?
Yeah, they're similar. Obviously, running back runs it. He's very physical. I think they're really good up front, and they're going to utilize the quarterback run game. And then off of that, they're going to play action and throw pop passes and play action passes. You know, so they create some challenges, again, but it's more about focusing in on doing our job.
I mean, Green are 2-1 at home against the Miners, and y'all won the past 2 meetings. Is there anything y'all are going to change since y'all know how they operate?
Past doesn't mean anything to me. The future's all that matters, and my only focus is trying to go 1-0 this week. Not trying, we're going to go 1-0 this week. We got to have a great week of preparation, and past doesn't matter.
Tyreek Davis moved from safety to linebacker this year and really kind of bulked up. How's that worked out? Has he really made that transition well?
He's made the transition well. He's made some plays, again, like anybody, all those guys. You know, you got to get comfortable within the defense. Look, we're far enough into it now. You know, you ought to be extremely comfortable where you're at. But you know, those young linebackers have made a lot of plays for us. I think they have some strengths that maybe we didn't have in the past. Obviously, they've had some weaknesses that we haven't had in the past. But again, that's going to be year in and year out. You know, not every player is the same. So they just got to continue to grow and continue flying around with their speed and making plays.
What is it about Tyreek that, you know, you mentioned they have some strengths and some weaknesses, maybe different than last year. What is it about him that's made him effective this season?
Well, I think, again, they're both of them. When I talk about those two linebackers, especially inside, their speed. I think they have the athleticism and the speed, and they love contact. They'll go strike you. It's not, you know, they're aggressive. And again, some of that is just, as we go through, just continuing to learn, you know, perfect alignments, perfect techniques, getting off blocks, and you know, some of the pressures, making sure we're hitting them in the right gaps. And so that just comes with the more reps they get. But I think both of those are productive guys, and you know, I like what I see from them.
Is that real critical when you guys are running the system with a 3-3-5 that you have those linebackers that have that speed and quickness to play in that type of system?
Yeah, I think it helps. You know, definitely helps, especially up front, trying to keep the O-lineman off of them through a lot of our stunts or twists or just you know, coming off on them. You know, there's a reason why it gets challenging, and you know, some of those 3-man fronts, whether it's bear fronts, you can get to a lot of different things to where you can try to keep those guys off your backers. And so you know, I think it's important for those guys to be able to run and strike.
Is it tougher to recruit to that system that with the 3-man front, just with the size?
Every system has its own challenges in recruiting. You know, I think it's more about trying to target the right guys that fit the system and fit your culture.
How impressed are you with Mason Fine coming off a shoulder injury and then the last 2 games going for almost 800 yards and 9 touchdowns?
Yeah, he's been great. I thought this past week, not only I thought he played his best game for a number of different reasons, and it wasn't all the throws that he made or maybe some of the checks, but also you know, his energy on the sideline, being a great teammate, trying to be positive, getting in and out of huddles, and you know, I thought he did an unbelievable job overall. And so we got to grow on that, and we need more guys to step up and bring that energy on the road. And look, when things go bad, we got to do a better job overcoming that adversity. You know, and it's not going to be perfect, but at the same time, you know, we have to play and overcome it better as a team. And so, got to get better.
Jair Shorter had a career game last week. What have you seen from him the past 2 weeks where he's been able to step up?
Well, he's a big physical guy now, and he can go. He's been really good at making some competitive plays out there on the edge, catching the football. You know, he's a tough guy to bring down, and he's just continuing to get confident. And then, you know, the more reps he gets, obviously, he's going to get a little bit more comfortable at doing it. And so, especially in the game. I mean, you can do it over and over and over in practice. You start making those plays in the game, and the quarterback gains more trust and those things, the coaches calling those plays, and then you do as well as a player. And so, like I tell those running backs, you force me to want to call the run. Out there on the edges, you know, force me to want to call those deep balls. We got to make those competitive plays because, you know, the last couple of weeks it's been a lot of press man, a lot of pressure. You know, there's no doubt in my mind guys are coming after Mason. and the pressure, and they're going to force our receivers to make competitive plays. They're going to force us to be able to pick up different pressures, and so we're going to have to do a great job, again, protecting, making sure our running backs see the protections, who they're on, and we got to do a great job outside and inside, all those guys, making competitive plays. And, we've been able to do that the past, especially this past week. I thought a lot of guys made some competitive plays. Darden, Mike Law, you had Jair, and then he ended up coming out, and then Greg stepped in and made some plays. And so there's guys, we have guys that can make competitive plays, and they're starting to prove that. We just got to get overall better there too, though.
Is there any pressure knowing you have to win 3 of the last 4 games to have a good chance at a bowl game?
Pressure's going 1-0 this week. That's it. I mean, honestly, the pressure is going 1-0 in this week, and there's always pressure to go 1-0 because you want it so bad. If you don't feel pressure each and every week, and to me, it's not the pressure, it's the edge. If you're not on edge every week, to go 1-0, it's probably going to be a real big challenge. And so that's my pressure. I'm focused in on going 1-0 this week, making sure that this team, the chemistry stays there. It's my job as a coach, again, to help this team overcome that adversity, to help them through this thing. And, I want these seniors, this group, who I have a ton of respect and love for, along with all my guys, I want them to have that success. And we're going to grind and we're going to work hard in order to achieve that goal.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.